Hi there, this is Christine Collins, your creativity consultant, NLP practitioner, and hypnotherapist, and here today with a tip for you if you are struggling with distraction from your creative project. It happens to the best of us at different times for different reasons, that there's something kind of going around and around in your mind. Perhaps it's a worry, perhaps it's a frustration, perhaps it is a focus on something that's negative or unpleasant, or perhaps there's someone in your experience who's kind of yanking your attention away from the things that you are the most interested in focusing on, which is your creativity and what you are in the process of creating. So there are a couple of things that you can do when you find yourself in a situation like this one. For starters, it definitely helps to kind of catch it in the act. So the sooner that you can notice something like this going on, the better off you're going to be. Having that sense of awareness of, I'm sitting down, I'm trying to work, and I just can't seem to get started. My mind keeps going in this direction. Identifying that that's where your mind actually is a very important first step. And once you kind of have that sense that, you're not able to focus, the next thing that can be very helpful is to shift your attention onto something neutral. It would be lovely to be able to jump from negative to positive and creative, but sometimes that just isn't realistic because we're so caught up in whatever it is that's frustrating or distracting, we're not able to just make that leap into, okay, I'm ready to work now. So shifting first to the middle of the spectrum, something that's completely neutral, that could be anything as simple as a sound, a noise, a song. It can work to focus on something like a white noise in the background, like a fan, something that's very steady and consistent. It can also work to shift to a topic that is steady and consistent, something that is rather neutral for you. You can think about animals, flowers, clouds, really anything at all, as long as it's neutral and doesn't hold any emotional content for you. And then once you make that shift to neutral, it can be helpful at that point to use this technique that I'm going to briefly describe for you here. I call it archiving the moon. And essentially what you're doing is imagining the night sky with all of the stars and the moon kind of projected out onto it. And your mind's eye is essentially like a projector. You're going to project out onto that blank canvas all of the things that are in your head. So they could include things like your current work project, that thing that's really frustrating or negative for you or distracting for you, and then all of the other things that are part of your world and your experience, big things, small things, any of the things that are part of your regular thought patterns. Project them out onto that night sky as if they're actual physical objects, or you can see them as stars, or you can see them as the moon, however you choose to look at it. Project them out of your head and onto a more tangible canvas where you can observe them. You'll notice that the thing that's on your mind the most comes the largest. And if that thing that's worrying you, distracting you, or frustrating you is appearing rather large, you can mentally kind of take your fingers and zoom it down to size. So literally it's just like you would on a computer screen, like a touch screen, where you're taking it and just kind of pop it down to the size that you want it to be, which is probably small or even non-existent. Take it and kind of swish it down off to the side and, tuck it under a rock or something where it's out of the way. It's no longer that giant focus in the middle of your mind. Now take the thing that you wish to focus on the most, which is probably your project, your creation, your desire. Take that one and enlarge it in that mind's eye projection. Make it as big as you would like so that it becomes more of a focal point of your imagination and your focus. Now you're ready to actually get started. And as soon as you feel that clearing happening, that release, that shift, jump into your work, get started right away, take advantage of that new shift that you've just created for yourself.